Let's go to Republican Senator John Thune on what he makes of all of this. Senator, you may have just heard that. White House Press Secretary says the Republicans, that's you're going to have a hard time, a hard sell, rejecting this deal. What do you say to that?
Well, it shouldn't come as any surprise to you, Stuart, that I think it's actually the other way around. I think the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. With the Iranians, we know in the past they've lied about their program. We know that they're the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world today. And I think the American people have a healthy skepticism going into this deal in the first place. So I think the burden is going to be on the administration to try and convince Congress and the American people that this is somehow a good deal.
When President Reagan was negotiating a nuclear deal with the Soviets, he said, yeah, we can have a deal, but we must trust and we must verify. From what you've just said, I don't think you trust the Iranians, but would you go along with any deal where you could not absolutely verify that the full conditions were being met?
No, I certainly wouldn't for that reason. I don't trust them, and I don't think we should trust them. And I think there are enough clear-eyed Democrats here on Capitol Hill that when push comes to shove, there will be bipartisan resistance to anything that doesn't have any time, any place inspections. You've got to be able to verify this thing. You've got to be able to enforce it. You've got to hold them accountable, because history has proven that if you don't, they're going to cheat. And I think that's where this thing is today. I hope that the administration will get the kind of agreement that has all the right restrictions in it, but I'm skeptical based on what I'm hearing, the reporting that we're seeing so far, that that's the case. It doesn't look to me at this point, based on the parameters, the framework that we're hearing discussed, that it's going to meet any of the requirements that I think are going to necessitate this to be a good deal. And no deal is better than a bad deal, and I think that's where most members of Congress are, and I think that's where the American people are.
Now, if the Iranians don't live up to their word, and if you try to verify and you can't verify, President Obama says, well, you just snap back the sanctions, just reapply them, just like that. Is it easy to do that? Can you do it?
Very hard to do, Stuart, and the reason for that is there are a lot of other parties that are involved with that, and I think once you let them out from underneath the sanctions, it's going to be very difficult to reimpose them, particularly given the fact that you've got a lot of other countries who would have to be agreeable with that. The U.S., I suppose, could do that, but will we? I don't think that's likely. I think that we need to know going in on the front end, we have to have the hard type of evidence that they're going to be able to comply with this, and that's going to require those anytime, anyplace inspections. There's got to be verification, there's got to be enforcement, and those particulars need to be negotiated on the front end. We can't trust them and hope that they're going to do it and say, well, if they don't, we'll put the sanctions back in place. That's just not going to work, and I don't think there's going to be, I think there's going to be very little support among Republicans up here, but I would guess there are going to be a lot of Democrats, as I said, who are going to have a lot of questions and be very leery of a deal that along the lines being described today.
Senator, we'll put you in the skeptical column. Senator John Thune, Republican. Thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.